What is going on, guys? We're going to come to videos, and today we're going back to our WTF series. For those who are new to the channel or new to the series, WTF series is where I watch really bad movies, so bad that they're good or so bad that you're going to gouge your own eyes out. What is this movie? Batman and Robin, and it somehow fits in the middle. This is one of those movies that a lot of people love or a lot of people despise. It's got a lot of funny one-liners, but it's hard to enjoy it when you're secluded with no one else watching. I'm gonna have to start watching these bad movies with people, but I don't know anybody who wants to sit down and watch bad movies on purpose. So it's like I'm sitting here by myself. Don't get me wrong, this movie had a lot of chuckles here and there, especially with Arnold. With Arnold is grunting and he's fighting and he's just, it's interesting stuff. But yeah, this was something else. Your boy was a little bit more prepared. I made a list. Shit, it's a lot I wrote down. But one of the first things I noticed with this movie was it was a huge red flag. And if I was watching this in theaters when it first came out, I knew this would have been a bad sign. Where like the clouds are like CG red with a lot of red brightness to it, and they decided to put red text over red clouds. And it was really hard to like distinct between the names and the clouds and stuff like that because they were so close together. Then on top of that, you got CG clouds, and then you got a CG bat symbol that's red for some reason. It's just so much red. It was at this point I knew we're in trouble. One of the first scenes we see is Batman and Robin suiting up, and it's so spectacular that they had to emphasize on the suiting up scene where they're showing the butt, the crotch, and the nipples. I'm just so happy that the guy who directed this and the costume designers were like, that's good. People want to see bat nipples. People want to see Batman with a thick ass. Because, yeah. And with this scene on top of that was every time they were putting on a gadget or just like putting a piece of clothing on, there was always this dramatic whooshing sound. Like it was like this most badass thing ever. Like you could tell the things on, they're just going like that. And it doesn't even look good, and it's a fucking onesie for the most part. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I'm like, I'm already exhausted. I'm already exhausted. We're only like not even 2 minutes in. Let's talk about the Batmobile, because there's two things I really want to talk about. First off, the Batmobile and the first lines of dialogue. The Batmobile looks like a McDonald's toy, and I think that was like a big thing with this movie because it was obviously made to sell toys, and I think the Batmobile was like a McDonald's promotion. It was something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but that Batmobile looks like total shit. It looks bad. It looks like a Hot Wheels, bro. It doesn't actually look like a Batmobile. And the opening line to this movie, Batman and Robin, I want a car. Chicks dig the car. This is why Superman works alone. People underestimate how powerful your first line of dialogue is. If it be information, because a lot of times opening lines of dialogue is information overload, or it sets up something. What did this set up? Throughout the movie, specifically in the intro, there's a lot of camera zoom-ins, and it really drove me nuts. Like zoom ins on the face, and I'm sitting there getting a headache. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Ooh. One of this movie's biggest problems, which is obvious, is not the acting, even though the acting is over the top, and that's what makes the movie at all enjoyable, is the amount of subplots. It makes The Amazing Spider-Man 2, it makes Spider-Man 3 look like it was tamed with their subplots. You got Poison Ivy's, her origin story. You got Bane's origin story. And then you got Mr. Freeze in there. And then you got Alfred dying, who coincidentally had the same disease as Mr. Freeze's wife. There's a lot of conveniences in this movie too. Jesus Christ. I understand movies need conveniences, but when those conveniences drive the plot forward, it's stuff like that. You just sit down like, why? The Alfred dying plot served nothing but one purpose. Does Batman, Bruce Wayne, and the Bat family love Alfred? We all know he does. And how do you show that without making it a big fucking deal? They already did it in the movie. Bruce Wayne is sitting there in the freaking I had a hard time calling him Bruce Wayne. He doesn't look like Bruce Wayne. It's just George Clooney. George Clooney sitting in the hallway, remembering when he was a kid and he fell on his freaking knee, and then Alfred was there to pick him up. That served no purpose. It was out of nowhere, other than to just say, yeah, Bruce Wayne loves Alfred, and Barbara's like, you don't love him, and I'm like, do we need this subplot? Oh yeah, and on top of all the things already mentioned, the Barbara subplot, because 2 hours. Lord of the Rings is a 3-hour movie, then 3.5-hour movie. And yet that trilogy had less information than the Batman and Robin movie tried to fit into one. Fight me. And the way this world is built, I get it. It was a time where like things were very goofy for comic book movies. But I can't be the only one that thought this. Anyone here who's watching this ever played the Lego Batman games, or any of the Lego games in general, with the music playing and the way the world was built, did you guys get Lego Batman vibes? Come on. Comment down below, let me know, because like honestly, I can't be the only one. I can't be. One thing I feel is so important to talk about is the puns. I only kept track of one set of puns, and I think y'all want to hear them. The ice puns. There was a couple that I couldn't understand because it's coming from Arnold's mouth, so I just said fuck it and I just ignored it because I'm like, I actually sat there, paused the movie, replayed it like 17 times trying to interpret what he's saying, but it was like, I'm like, I'm gonna start talking like Arnold just because I'm having a stroke trying to comprehend what he's trying to say.
You're not sending me to the cooler. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! Stay cool, bird boy. Can you be cold, Batman? You have 11 minutes to unthaw the bird. Alright, everyone, chill. Cool party. It's a cold town. Always winterize your pipes. Chilled. Perfection. Revenge is best served cold. Tonight, hell freezes over. Let's kick some ice. Tonight's forecast. A freeze is coming! Freeze in hell, Batman!
And then one from Ivy. Let's cool it for now. I definitely missed a couple, but just let me know, and it's something else. I shouldn't take science into effect with this movie, but Freeze said something that really just made me think for a second. He said, in this universe, one thing is absolute. Everything freezes. That's not true. Because in order for something to freeze, there needs to be humidity. And last time I checked, there can't be humidity in space because there's no pressure. Therefore, it like kind of boils off and then just disappears, turning to nothing. I'm not a scientist. That might be the case. That might not be the case. I might be overthinking it. But last time I checked, there's no humidity in space. So... because wouldn't the moon be like just one giant ice ball? One of the subplots that I really did not like, on top of the 15 million I already didn't like, was the fact that Mr. Freeze and his suit is so stupid because it's powered on diamonds. What source is that? Like, how does that work? How does a suit run on diamonds? They don't explain it. He just like, yeah, how do we make him seem like a normal villain by stealing diamonds? Oh, his suit can run on diamonds. On the topic of Mr. Freeze, I love how he insults Batman for being too emotionally attached to Robin when he gets frozen. He's like, save Robin or come after me. And then when Batman decides to stay with Robin and unthaw him, he's like, you're too attached, you're too emotional. And then he runs away, which is ironic because Mr. Freeze is actually a very complex villain who was really done well in the Harley Quinn show, and he's insulting Batman for being emotional when his entire purpose is to save his wife. hypocritical much. The use of Bane in this movie was pretty crap. Like, he's the most comic book accurate looking Bane in the live action big screen. But my god, I like when he did the strong arm thing. They used that twice. They used it twice. Like, it was such a good shot they had to... Like, when you reuse footage, the audience will know. Even if they don't know, the brain will pick it up like, we just saw this. We saw this being reused. And they did that. When Bane was made by Lionel Luthor, not actually Lionel Luthor, but some mad scientist who was actually playing Lionel Luthor in Smallville. He creates Bane, goes, arr. They reused the audio too, which is even easier to pick up. Like, 5-10 minutes later when Poison Ivy is created, and all she hears, then she's like, Bane, we could use your help. And then they just cut to him and go, and it's the same background. They even try to change it. Oh god, it was awful. In that same scene alone, another thing that kind of like ruins a character of Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is supposed to be able to communicate with plants. She's supposed to understand for plants. She's supposed to love plants. Two major problems with Poison Ivy. One, when she was with Bane in the greenhouse, she sets a fire there with her plants in there and burns the place down, killing the plants. And when she gets arrested in the end, she's pulling leaves, like whatever you want to call them, off a fucking flower. And her entire plan is, because the whole team up with Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy is polar opposites. They should not be teaming up. They really shouldn't. It's like Heat Miser and Snow Miser fucking teaming up. You should not do that. It's just, no, it doesn't work like that. But her plan is freeze the entire planet over, just leaving those two alive, even though there's Bane, and Bane's sitting there, he's like, yeah, this is a cool idea. Leave those two alive. Math, 2, 1, 2. Just leave those two alive, kill everything else, and then start off a new age. But you're going to be killing quadrillions, untold numbers of plants, just so that you can kill mankind. And then Poison Ivy doesn't work like that. If it's to kill mankind, she'll do it one by one. She will use her plant army. But she will never kill plants that grow more plants. That's not how she operates. That's not how it works. And easily my least favorite sequence in this entire movie is the racing sequence with Barbara Gordon, because it served no purpose. The only thing that this really sets up is Barbara is not the innocent, loving girl that we all thought she was supposed to be. She's like, oh yeah, I don't ride bikes, I just think it looks cool. And then she rides it out, and then there's this entire we know she's a badass. But like, they use that sequence to make us think, oh, so she can do that, she can fight. Alfred didn't know she could fight. Hell, he didn't even know that she could ride bikes. And she's like, yeah, I made you a suit, and let me expose my family secret. Bruce Wayne is Batman. Dick Grayson is Robin. Things can change over a couple months, years, whatever, how long she's been in prep school, whatever the hell she's been in. And he just exposed their secret with logic out the window. What am I thinking? On the topic of Barbara trying to, like, get her suit and shit like that, it makes no sense for me, because she had a one-on-one with Alfred saying, go to this section, I got something for you. And we all know what it's going to be. It's going to be the bat suit and the revealed secrets. But the asshole didn't even tell her his password. You'd think that would be an important thing. The password is this. And first off, why is your password PEG? P-E-G. That's the worst password ever. And it's right next to the computer. Any fucking moron can figure that out. It's like, what if someone broke into Wayne Manor thinking, shit, we need money. Let's steal from Wayne. He's number one richest person in Gotham City. And they were like, okay, let's see if we can hack into their bank accounts. They go to this computer. What's the password? Let's try PEG. Nah, that's too easy. PEG. Let's try it anyway. We got like 15 attempts. That's in. And then it just shows the flashing images like, look who's Batman, look who's Batman, look who's Batman, Batman. This entire movie was to sell toys. Poison Ivy even made a joke about like selling her toys with Bane's toys, and the entire movie was just for a toy factory to have an orgy. That's all it was. Because there's a sequence when Barbara just suits up for the first time. It's a perfect fit because, you know, Alfred knew her size specifically, exactly, and knew she was a badass. She saves Batman and Robin, and they make a PC joke. Fantastic. Ahead of your time, advanced stuff. And then, literally, the next scene, they're in different suits. Barbara got that suit made specifically for her. Again, I can't stress it enough, with Alfred not knowing she was a badass. And how did she get the second suit? Toys! There's so much I could say to this movie, but all in all, it's a crap fest. It's bad. The ice puns made me laugh a little bit. Anything with Arnold, because when he's fighting Batman, every punch, every move, every hit goes, "Argh! Argh! Argh!" It's fantastic. It's funny stuff. I love it. But it's a bad movie. Every decision they made was a wrong one. We'll just say that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to have a decision to make in my next WTF series, go support my Patreon on patreon.com/Gumps videos. There's so many tiers, 1, 5, 10, 20, and 50. Go check out those tiers to see if you have something that you guys would like. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a Twitter at Gumps_videos. Go follow me there for the latest news updates on my channel, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe and look up. Later and goodbye.